Scotland has just had a referendum on whether it should become an independent country, and it has voted against becoming an independent country. Normally, we would think in that context that means that the issue is over, that is a matter for the past. However, in this case, this is a referendum that has started a big story rather than finishing a big story, because now the issue is what happens next with the structure of the UK. In the course of the Scottish referendum campaign, further devolution to Scotland was promised. If that isn't delivered, then it seems to me almost certain that Scotland will, in only a few years' time, leave the UK, that Scots will vote for the Scottish nationalists in the 2016 Scottish Parliament election, and thereafter there will be another referendum in which people will feel that they were duped by the Westminster establishment and vote to separate. Even if the further devolution to Scotland does happen, however, that doesn't mean that things are going to be simple, because that will require further restructuring of the rest of the UK. There's a lot of talk at the moment about English votes for English laws, so only English MPs will vote on matters relating to only to England. If you only do that, however, it creates all sorts of constitutional difficulties and anomalies. There will be a lot of difficult negotiation over the coming months in order to try to find some kind of constitutional solution for the UK that works. Not entirely clear that it will be possible to find one, but many people will be working hard in order to do so. The second issue I will focus on. So the second issue is what will happen if there is a referendum in the UK on whether we should stay within the European Union. At the moment, the polls suggest that Brits probably want to stay within the European Union. There are two sets of polls. One simply asks people, what do you want to stay within the EU or not? The majority in recent polls is narrowly in favour of staying within the EU. If you ask people the other question, what should happen if the government manages to renegotiate our terms of membership so there's a different sort of EU. In that case, about 2/3 of voters say that we should remain within the EU. But a lot depends on what happens in the course of a referendum campaign. Partly the issue is who is on each side of the campaign. So if there are popular, charismatic politicians arguing that the UK should leave, that will strengthen that argument. In addition, we need to think about the impact of the fear factor, the fear of the economic implications of leaving the EU, and also identity issues. Do people feel any sense of identity with the European Union or not? These are very difficult things to predict. I would guess that probably the fear factor will win out and that therefore British voters will vote to stay within the EU, but that is not a firm prediction. Many things could go the other way, so we will have to see if indeed there is a referendum in 2017.